it does.
And it's the most expensive on there. And it's the most expensive protein. So that's why they worry about it, right? It's not a pork butt.
So, well, it's not chicken. You know, if you screw up chicken, throw it in the garbage and start all over again. You know, nowadays, I ain't even talking about a Wagyu. You screw up a brisket, that's $100 plus, just a prime or a choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Myron, we've got less than 2 minutes. We've thoroughly have enjoyed talking to you. Well, let's steal a little info from you that's going to go in the classes. Briefly tell us a little bit about doing a brisket, because that is an expensive cut and such an important meat. Give us a little insight on that, if you would.
Well, the thing is, you know, everybody always has a story about 14 to 20-hour brisket. I do my briskets in 4 to 5 hours. That's about an 18 to 20 pounder. Start to finish. Hot and fast. Looking at 300, 325 degrees. And with the rest time in there, because you got to let it rest, you look about a total deal of 6 hours, you're ready to eat.
325. And it creates a little bit different flavor profile, too, when you do it that way.
Well, the thing about it is, the way I started thinking about this was the faster you cook that meat, the more juices you're going to lock in.
Yeah, and it does. It just plumps up, too, when you cook it that way. It balloons.
You know, well, one thing about it, though, you don't get to hang out there with your friends as long, so you may not want to jump on the hot and fast.
And you're not eating bread while you're getting ready to eat it either.
No, you're not eating bread. That was another thing. You brought that up. The first thing I asked my doctor, could I have alcohol? And he said, as long as you didn't mix it with fruit juice or sodas, you was good to go as long as it was on the rocks. I said, that's the only way I ever drink it. That was a deal breaker for me if I couldn't have my drink.
That's right.
Hey, unfortunately, we are running out of time. We have thoroughly enjoyed this. We've been talking with Myron Mixon. Check out his book, especially if you want to lose weight, but check it out anyway. It's Keto Barbecue, real barbecue for a healthy lifestyle, and you can learn everything at MyronMixon.com. We're going to be talking about bison, eating bison steaks, coming up next on Barbecue Radio Network.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth. Step out of the car, please. I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Save money and make your home more comfortable with Midwest Energy's HouseSmart program. With HouseSmart, your home gets a thorough inspection from a certified energy auditor. Select an approved contractor to make recommended insulation and furnace upgrades, and we pay up to 100% of the costs. Payback is made through savings on your energy bill. Learn more at Midwest Energy at mwenergy.com. Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative, making energy work for you.
If you're a farmer or rancher, chances are you've thought about joining Kansas Farm Bureau. So what's stopping you? Your membership means you have a seat at the table when it comes to the issues that affect your farm. Things like trade, taxes, water, and regulations. The state's largest farm advocacy organization brings your message to policy decision makers at the county, state, and national level. The voice of agriculture becomes your voice and fights for Kansas farmers and ranchers. And a Kansas Farm Bureau membership includes other benefits. For about $50 a year, you'll receive discounts on equipment and supplies, cell phone plans, financial and legal support, home and office supplies, and more. You'll also receive Kansas Living, a quarterly lifestyle magazine featuring real stories of farmers and producers around the state, plus great recipes, crafts, and things to see and do in Kansas. Join us today. Visit kfb.org/farmerrancher to learn more.
Mom, I broke broke my iPhone screen.
Don't worry, Brandon. I can take it to Bauer Computers and have it fixed.
Cornpop was a bad dude.
What are you mumbling about?
Nothing. I said they really can do anything at Bauer Computers.
All right, let's go, Brandon. You're going to be late.
We're the tech-savvy folks at Jackson and 10th. Bauer Computers, we make it make sense.
Talking with Branson from Big Creek Crossing.
Spring is getting closer, and we hope you're as excited as us to get ready for warmer weather. Big Creek Crossing in Hayes has you covered for new spring clothing, shoes, entertainment, and more. Stop on by, and don't forget to come see the Easter Bunny in Center Court. Select hours can be found on our Facebook events page. We'll also be hosting a brand new event, Collecticon, showcasing sports memorabilia, history, coins, and more. This event is brought to you by Pro Image Sports and will take place on April 15th and 16th. Vendors are encouraged to register for a booth. See you there only at Big Creek Crossing.
You grew up in Hayes, went to Hayes High, went to Fort Hayes, and met the love of your life here. To find the ring of her dreams, why not choose Hayes? At Diamond R Jewelry, Dustin will help turn her dream ring into a reality. Diamond R Jewelry works with top designers to ensure the highest quality at the best prices. Diamond R Jewelry, on the Bricks in downtown Hayes.
Good Times Motorcycle Sales and Service in Hayes, Kansas. Riding down the open highway, smashing miles and smashing bugs, that's cool. But then you get home and now it's time to get those miles and bugs off that scooter. And let's face it, that ain't cool. So let Good Times Motorcycle Sales and Service give it our complete motorcycle detailing package. A meticulous and comprehensive hand wash, remove surface contaminants, intensive compounding and polishing, Silajet ceramic paint protection for durability, and enhanced gloss. So schedule today. Good Times Motorcycle Sales and Service, 1007 Vine Street in Hayes.
Looking for a great career opportunity? Want to go back to school, but you're not sure how to pay for it? The Holiday Inn Express in Hayes is hiring for multiple positions, including full or part-time housekeeping. Experience is not necessary for any position. The Holiday Inn Express offers a full benefits package, including competitive wages, bonus programs, and tuition incentives. Must be 14 years of age or older to apply. Apply today at the Holiday Inn Express, north of I-70 in Hayes.
The Harlem Globetrotters are coming to Hayes on March 28th, and My Town Media is giving away the ultimate family night to one lucky family. Keep listening to find out how you can win 4 courtside tickets and VIP meet and greets. The Harlem Globetrotters, one night only, March 28th at Gross Memorial Coliseum, right here in Hayes.
Award-winning Barbecue Radio Network. A barbecue shout-out goes to one of our sponsors, Old Hickory Pits Smokers. You can check them out at oldhickorypits.com. Old Hickory Pits wood-burning barbecue pits. They've got both commercial and now these gorgeous residential smokers. Again, check them out at oldhickorypits.com. And our weekly barbecue radio shout-out goes to KOKX, 1310 AM and 93.3 FM in Keokuk, Iowa. Yes, I've done stand up there, just bragging. And you can learn more about them at radiokeokuk.com. And while you're in Keokuk, be sure to check out Smokin' Jay's Barbecue and Bakery, two of my favorite things in the world, and it's located on 270th Avenue in Keokuk, Iowa. That's Smokin' Jay's Barbecue and Bakery. And, of course, thank you to all of our radio affiliates for being a part of Barbecue Radio Network. Turn now to Andy Groneman, my co-host. Well, yes?
I said, well.
What?
You turned to me when you actually turned to me. I said, well.
I actually sometimes turn to you, or I turn away. He is, of course, a Chef's Choice champion at the Jack Daniel's World Invitational. Yes, didn't know. Well, T-Bone and I didn't know we were amongst royalty here.
We are. He's a thing.
What do you mean? T-Bone is an award-winning executive producer.
He
you
is.
just alluded to that a second ago.
Mentioned,
I was going to say, because you were kind of like almost laughing there, but I just wanted to point out it's true.
I forgot.
We won an award of excellence.
You know, folks, this
broadcast journalism.
This little barbecue show that could, we're down here grinding along in the studio, and I forgot that we've won an award. We're an award-winning radio show, and Then I built that one trophy for myself, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
You just didn't notice that there's bowling people on the top of mine. I'm just... Those photos are all bowling trophies.
Hey, a trophy is a trophy. So time now for our barbecue product spotlight. And Andy, what do you got for us this week?
So we were talking earlier, the question was about keeping your grill clean, and it dawned on me in the first segment, a great product to talk about when you're cooking and trying to do that are Q-mats. Okay. Now, a Q-mat is essentially it's a coated mesh. It's like a silicone coated mesh. And unless you're doing really hot direct grilling, which is going to burn everything off your grates anyway, right? It's going to keep them clean. That Q-mat, you can set your product on it, whatever it is, your vegetables or pig candy or any of those things, and they won't stick to it. And you can take it on and off the grill and keep your grill clean. And the Q-mat just goes in the dishwasher on the top rack.
Oh, wow.
And it's silicone coated. So silicone, of course, is very nonstick. Works great. And they're called Q-mats.
Well, let me circle back a little bit to our Ask Andy segment in the first segment about keeping it clean. And I've heard two different ways people do their grilling. Steven Reichland, that we're going to have on next week on PBS, who I love watching his show, he always takes, is it olive oil and then on a cloth, and then he wipes the grill before he puts the meat on it, correct? Now, I've heard people do that. Well, you give me a look.
I was thinking, I haven't looked recently, but the problem with olive oil is it has a very low smoke point, burn point. So as long as it was burnt off.
Maybe it's not olive oil. It's some kind of oil.
I want to say peanut oil or maybe even avocado oil, something like that.
So I may have misspoke on what that is, but he does take an oil in a little cloth.
Steel or a cast iron grate. Mm-hmm. You definitely want to oil that first because the oil's going to suck into any of the pores that are open on that cast and give you that nice smooth surface that'll be nonstick. If you've got Teflon coated grates or porcelain coated grates or anything like that, probably not as important to oil it, but even a little just spray of PAM typically will help with that. So I'm always a fan of that.
Yeah, I've always, from watching the shows and so forth, I've always oiled it. And then one day I heard somebody go, I don't know if he was on the show, to be honest with you guys, or if I saw it on TV, and he goes, no, you're not supposed to oil it. I go, well, what am I supposed to do? But for me personally, the oil, I always liked it. I've always liked the results from it. So, well, anyway, thank you so much for that. Oh, and by the way, a little side note, again, returning to the first segment about cleaning, that I still think it's funny that you would think that right after we're done grilling it, we would clean it. That's just hilarious. I don't know. T-Bone, sometimes Andy is so funny. We can't stop him.
He's quite the jokester.
He's quite the jokester.
Fine.
It's killing him.
You even had the right idea. You were like, you've got to let the meat rest.
I know, and that's the perfect time to do it. But I'm also a founding member of Procrastinators Anonymous. So, and we're going to have a meeting next week. But, oh, wait, it got postponed. Never mind. So, talk now to Andy again about bison burgers and steaks. Now,
yes, let's talk about bison.
I've not had a bison steak, and I kind of regret that. I don't know where I would find one here. I'm sure there is someplace. But there used to be a restaurant up north that had bison burgers, and I would have one every once in a while. And
it was Ted Turner's place.
It might have been. And they were delicious. They were absolutely delicious. I believe, and you can clarify this for me, the bison's kind of a leaner meat, kind of a healthier, not as fatty meat. Is that true?
Yeah. So you had that steak. I guarantee it was Ted's Montana Grill.
Yes, Montana Grill. Thank you.
And that's because Ted Turner had a whole herd of bison in Montana, and that was the impetus for the bison, was to use them as a food source.
Well, and Ted Turner, he's all about making money, so he's not an idiot.
so bison or American buffalo, it's the same thing, right? You get lower fat out of that. You get higher protein and lower calories. So if it was next to beef, which they're both red meats, they both have a similar, you can get similar flavor out of them. Texture on bison is a little different. It's a little bit tougher. It's got a little more chew because it is leaner. But per serving, like if I've got a a bison burger and a hamburger, you're going to have more protein, less fat and calories in that bison burger. So all the things you want, the higher protein count and the lower calories, you get out of bison. So there's kind of a health factor for using bison, but there's also people that talk about sustainability of the product and being able to do kind of a farm to fork thing with bison and some of that. So there's some drivers there too. From a flavor and texture perspective, really you get that red meat experience with bison.
And a lot of it is your preparation too, I would assume.
Absolutely. So one of the coolest things that we did, so KC had that KCQ festival this year, and there was also, I think, there was one in Fort Lauderdale. They've had a few of them around the country, and one of our local restaurants that supported that, Plowboys Barbecue, and you've met Todd before,
Yeah,
great
sure,
guy. So we did bison on weck. So one of the things out of the Buffalo area, and some people say, the best food that came out of Buffalo is not the wings. It is beef on weck. Weck is a kind of bun, right? So it's got caraway and stuff on it. It's a really great flavor profile. Well, we did that sandwich with bison instead.
Okay.
Todd got bison, and that was one of our showcase sandwiches at this Q Festival. And I got to go and help him do some cooking. We did some whole hog and did this bison on weck. Phenomenal flavor. I had not had a shoulder roast of bison before, but it cooks up to me, just with a ton of flavor. So as a smoked product, you can get a big roast that down and get a really lean, high protein cook and have all that awesome red meat experience.
So, and again, this is a personal choice. Ketchup or barbecue sauce, you could use either one as far as the topping.
Oh yeah,
or none.
absolutely.
None.
You don't need it, but yeah, you could do that, or you could braise it in whatever sauce you're working with. It does take longer to get that meat tender, though. We were a little surprised. I think it took us about 2.5 hours longer than we expected for that roast to really break down and get tender enough to shred.
And that's because of the less fat, I'm assuming?
Yeah, less fat and that tighter texture from being a leaner muscle.
Okay, and I've got you on so much of a tangent on burgers. Quickly, bison steaks, real quick.
Yes, bison steaks are wonderful. You can cook it just like a beef steak. And same basic cuts. You can have a bison ribeye, that shoulder steak that.
Thank you so much, Andy. And we, of course, want to thank our barbecue legend, Myron Mixon, for being a guest. Check out his book, Keto Barbecue, Real Barbecue for a Healthy Lifestyle. All of that is on his website at myronmixon.com. Very excited for our guest next week, Stephen Reichland, author and star of the PBS show Project Fire. He's going to be on next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy barbecuing from Barbecue Radio Network.
We build a grill, Holstein Manufacturing.
You have a better recipe for when you grill. Better ingredients, better cuts of meat, and because you're using a grill from Holstein Manufacturing, well, a better grill. You take grilling seriously, and at Holstein Manufacturing, we make a serious grill. Find your new grill now at HolsteinMFG.com.
We build a grill, Holstein Manufacturing.
Holstein Manufacturing, we build the grill.
Barbecue Radio Network is heard on radio stations from Hawaii to Florida. If you have a business centered around barbecue or the backyard lifestyle, please consider advertising with us. Contact us through our Facebook page or website at bbqradionetwork.com.
I love this song. I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Throwback.
I remember.
Kiss.
on Wheels, Andy Groneman.
Be sure to tune in every week as expert barbecue guests and I will give you tips on how you can take your grilling and barbecuing to the next level.
Whether you're a beginner or a pro, we want to help you become the envy of your neighborhood.
Not only will we up your barbecue game, you'll get hungry just listening to us.
Be sure to tune in for Barbecue and Fun every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m.
right here on KISS 104.7.
Today, mostly sunny, breezy and warmer. The high 73. Tonight, clear, getting down to 40. Weather this hour is being brought to you by Comfort Pro. With warmer weather on the way, it's time to get that AC service. Call Comfort Pro for an appointment today. With Nighttime Media Weather, I'm Chris Elton.
That sounds nice.